Many raw vegetables are packed with nutrients, but it's interesting that some can actually make digestion and blood sugar control a bit tricky for people with diabetes. So, in this discussion, we're going to explore 4 specific raw vegetables that might negatively impact digestion for diabetics. We'll delve into why this happens and, importantly, look at some practical alternatives for healthier eating. Top 4 raw vegetables that may worsen digestion in diabetics. Number 1, raw broccoli. First up, let's talk about raw broccoli. Now, broccoli is a cruciferous vegetable, and it's really celebrated for its rich array of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants, making it a popular choice for many health-conscious individuals. And while it definitely offers significant nutritional benefits, eating raw broccoli can sometimes present digestive challenges, especially for those who are managing diabetes. It's fascinating how the very components that make it so healthy can occasionally be the source of discomfort when it's eaten raw. Understanding these potential issues is key, as it can help individuals with diabetes make informed choices about how to include this otherwise beneficial vegetable in their diet without experiencing those unwanted digestive symptoms. So, what's one of the main reasons raw broccoli can be a bit problematic? Well, it really comes down to its inherently tough and fibrous structure. You see, this vegetable is packed with complex fibers. While these are generally good for our health, they can be particularly difficult for the digestive system to break down when the broccoli is raw. For individuals with diabetes, whose digestive systems might already be a bit more sensitive or perhaps slower, tackling these rigid fibers can require considerable effort from the gut. This difficulty in breaking down the raw vegetable can then lead to a feeling of heaviness and discomfort, which can certainly detract from the meal experience and even potentially affect nutrient absorption if digestion is significantly impaired. Furthermore, it's worth noting that the high fiber content in raw broccoli, specifically certain types of fermentable carbohydrates known as FODMAPs, can lead to common digestive complaints like bloating and gas. What happens is, as these fibers reach the large intestine undigested, they're fermented by gut bacteria, and this process naturally produces gas. Now, for some people, especially those with sensitive digestive systems, which are often seen in diabetic individuals, this gas production can be excessive. This can then lead to uncomfortable bloating, abdominal distension, and increased flatulence. Understandably, this can be particularly bothersome and might even discourage the regular consumption of this nutritious vegetable if someone only considers eating it raw. And it doesn't stop at just gas and bloating. Raw broccoli may also irritate the digestive tract in sensitive individuals. You see, the compounds in cruciferous vegetables, like goitrogens and glucosinolates, while beneficial in many contexts, can sometimes act as irritants to the gut lining when consumed raw in larger quantities. For people with diabetes who might already experience gastrointestinal issues, such as gastroparesis, which is delayed stomach emptying and a complication of diabetes, this irritation can actually exacerbate their symptoms, leading to pain or a general feeling of malaise after eating. So, it's really crucial to listen to your body's response when you're incorporating raw vegetables like broccoli into your diet. The good news is, to enjoy broccoli without these digestive concerns, simple preparation methods can make a huge difference. For instance, lightly steaming or blanching broccoli until its tender crisp softens its tough fibers, making it much easier for your digestive system to process. This gentle cooking method also helps to deactivate some of the compounds that can cause irritation, all while still preserving a good portion of its valuable nutrients. Roasting or sautéing are other excellent options that not only improve digestibility, but can also enhance its flavor. making broccoli a more enjoyable and gut-friendly addition to a diabetic-friendly diet. Number 2, raw cauliflower. Moving on to our second vegetable, let's discuss raw cauliflower. Now, cauliflower, much like broccoli, is another member of that esteemed cruciferous vegetable family. It's widely recognized for its versatility and health-promoting properties, including being low in calories and rich in vitamin C and K. Many people use it as a popular substitute for starchy foods in low-carb diets, which certainly makes it an appealing option for individuals managing diabetes. However, and this is a key point, similar to its cousin broccoli, consuming cauliflower in its raw state can pose digestive difficulties for some. This is particularly true for those with pre-existing sensitivities or diabetes-related digestive complications. So, while its low glycemic index is definitely a plus, the way it's consumed really matters significantly for overall comfort and health. The primary challenge with raw cauliflower really lies in its high content of insoluble fiber. You might have heard insoluble fiber referred to as roughage. It adds bulk to stool and helps food pass more quickly through the digestive system. While this is generally beneficial, large amounts from raw cauliflower can be particularly demanding on the digestive tract. This is especially true for individuals with diabetes who may experience slower digestion or conditions like irritable bowel syndrome. The rigid nature of this fiber in raw cauliflower means the stomach and intestines have to work harder to break it down, which can potentially lead to strain and discomfort. And this difficulty in digesting raw cauliflower often manifests as abdominal discomfort and flatulence. What happens is the undigested fibers travel to the colon, where they basically become a feast for gut bacteria. The fermentation process carried out by these bacteria then releases gases, such as hydrogen, methane, and carbon dioxide. For people with sensitive guts, or when a large amount of raw cauliflower is consumed, this gas production can be quite substantial. This can result in uncomfortable bloating, cramping, and, let's be honest, sometimes embarrassing flatulence. These symptoms can really detract from the quality of life and make it challenging to stick to a diet that's rich in such vegetables. Now, from a blood sugar management perspective, cauliflower is an excellent choice. This is due to its low carbohydrate content and minimal impact on glucose levels, which is a significant advantage for people with diabetes. However, if consuming it raw leads to significant digestive distress, these issues might actually outweigh the glycemic benefits. You see, chronic digestive discomfort can affect overall well-being, appetite, and even nutrient absorption. Therefore, it's really important to find a balance where the nutritional advantages of cauliflower can be enjoyed without compromising digestive health. This ensures that dietary choices support, rather than hinder, diabetes management. Fortunately, just like broccoli, cauliflower becomes much gentler on the digestive system when it's cooked. Methods like steaming, boiling, roasting, or mashing cauliflower help break down those tough, insoluble fibers, making them easier to digest. Cooking also has the added benefit of reducing the concentration of raffinose, which is a type of sugar that contributes to gas. So, lightly cooked cauliflower retains many of its nutrients while minimizing the risk of bloating and discomfort. This allows individuals with diabetes to comfortably incorporate this versatile vegetable into their meals and reap its full health benefits. You might want to consider options like cauliflower rice, steamed florets, or roasted wedges as delicious and digestible choices. Number 3, raw peas. All right, for our third vegetable, let's talk about raw peas. Peas, whether we're talking about green peas, also known as garden peas, or those sugar snap peas that are eaten whole, are often enjoyed for their sweet taste and nutritional content. They pack in vitamins A, C, K, and some B vitamins, as well as protein and fiber. Now, while they can certainly be a healthy part of a balanced diet, for individuals managing diabetes, particularly when consumed raw, peas do present a couple of considerations. These relate to both blood sugar management and digestive comfort. Understanding these aspects is really key to incorporating them wisely into a diabetic meal plan. One of the primary considerations for diabetics when it comes to raw peas is their carbohydrate content. This is relatively higher compared to non-starchy vegetables. Peas are actually considered starchy vegetables, and these carbohydrates, which are primarily in the form of sugars and starch, can have a noticeable impact on blood glucose levels if you consume them in large quantities. While it's true that the fiber in peas helps to slow down glucose absorption, the overall carb load from a significant portion of raw peas might still lead to those undesirable spikes in blood sugar. This really necessitates careful monitoring and portion control for effective diabetes management. Beyond just their carbohydrate content, raw peas can also be difficult to digest for some individuals, potentially leading to bloating or abdominal discomfort. This is because raw peas contain lectins and phytic acid, which are sometimes referred to as anti-nutrients. These compounds can interfere with nutrient absorption and may cause digestive upset in sensitive people when peas are consumed raw. Plus, the outer shell of garden peas can also be somewhat tough. So this combination can result in feelings of gassiness and indigestion, especially if the digestive system is already compromised, as can sometimes be the case with diabetic individuals. Now, if you do choose to consume peas in their raw state, perhaps fresh snap peas or young garden peas in a salad, moderation is absolutely key. Opting for small portions can help mitigate both the potential impact on blood sugar levels and the likelihood of digestive distress. For instance, a small handful of raw sugar snap peas might be perfectly well tolerated, whereas a large bowl could prove problematic. It's so important to listen to your body's response. If you notice any discomfort or significant blood sugar fluctuations after eating raw peas, that's a clear sign to adjust your intake or perhaps change your preparation method. So, what's the most effective way to reduce that digestive stress associated with peas and also to potentially lessen the impact of some of those anti-nutrients? Well, it's through cooking. Simple methods like steaming, boiling, or lightly sautéing peas can soften their texture, break down some of the complex carbohydrates and anti-nutrients, and make them much easier on the digestive system. Generally, cooked peas are well tolerated and allow individuals with diabetes to enjoy their nutritional benefits, including their fiber and protein content, without the common drawbacks you might find with their raw counterparts. Indeed, cooked peas can be a delightful and nutritious addition to many meals. Number 4, raw corn. And finally, our fourth vegetable to discuss is raw corn. Corn, especially sweet corn, is a globally popular vegetable. It's enjoyed for its sweet flavor and incredible versatility in various dishes, from salads to side dishes. And while it does provide some essential nutrients like vitamin C, magnesium, and certain B vitamins, it's also important to remember that it's a starchy vegetable. For individuals with diabetes, consuming corn, particularly in its raw form, requires careful consideration. This is mainly due to its carbohydrate content and its potential to cause digestive issues. So, understanding how raw corn interacts with both blood sugar and digestion is really vital for maintaining good health. The most significant concern with corn for diabetics is its relatively high carbohydrate load. To put it in perspective, a half-cup serving of corn kernels can contain around 21 grams of carbohydrates. That's a substantial amount that can lead to a rapid increase in blood sugar levels if it's not properly accounted for in a meal plan. Unlike many other vegetables, corn has a comparatively lower fiber to carbohydrate ratio. This means there's less fiber to help slow down the absorption of sugar into the bloodstream. This characteristic makes raw corn, and even cooked corn for that matter, a food that can easily cause blood sugar spikes if portion sizes aren't carefully managed. Beyond its impact on blood glucose, raw corn kernels can be particularly challenging for the digestive system to process. You see, the outer layer of a corn kernel, which is known as the pericarp, is made of cellulose. This is a type of insoluble fiber that we humans actually cannot digest. While this fiber can be beneficial in cooked corn by adding bulk to stool, when corn is raw, these kernels are very tough. The body really struggles to break them down, and as a result, you might even notice undigested kernels passing through your system. This incomplete digestion can lead to digestive stress, including symptoms like gas, bloating, and abdominal discomfort for some individuals. So, given these factors, if individuals with diabetes choose to eat raw corn, perhaps fresh kernels scraped off the cob into a salad, it really should be consumed in strict moderation. Small amounts are much less likely to cause significant blood sugar fluctuations or overwhelm the digestive system. It's also crucial to pair raw corn with sources of protein and healthy fats to help stabilize blood sugar responses. And, as always, pay close attention to how your body reacts, both in terms of your glucose readings and your digestive comfort. Keeping a food diary can be quite helpful in tracking these responses. For better digestibility and potentially a more moderated glycemic response, corn is ideally consumed when it's cooked. Cooking methods like boiling, steaming, grilling, or roasting help to soften that tough cellulose in the kernels. This makes them easier for the body to break down and reduces the likelihood of digestive distress. Now, while cooking doesn't significantly alter the carbohydrate content, the improved digestibility can certainly make it a more comfortable option. And as always with corn, even when it's cooked, portion control remains absolutely paramount for individuals managing diabetes to prevent those unwanted spikes in blood sugar. Other problematic raw vegetables for diabetics. Quick mentions. Beyond the main vegetables we've discussed, there are a couple of others that warrant a quick mention. Potatoes, for instance, are high in starch and can cause significant blood sugar spikes. Although they're rarely eaten raw, they do sometimes appear in salads. Their glycemic impact makes them generally unsuitable in raw form for diabetics. And even when cooked, potatoes require careful portioning. Then there are raw onions and garlic. While wonderfully flavorful, they contain fructans, which are a type of FODMAP. And these can trigger gas, bloating, and pain in sensitive individuals, including some people with diabetes. While they might not be primary blood sugar disruptors, the digestive discomfort they can cause when raw can certainly be problematic. The good news is that cooking usually lessens these effects. Safer ways to enjoy vegetables with diabetes. Now, enjoying vegetables is absolutely crucial for diabetes management, and thankfully, simple adjustments can make a big difference. Cooking methods like steaming, blanching, roasting, or lightly sautéing are all excellent choices. These techniques help to soften those tough fibers and complex sugars in vegetables like broccoli and cauliflower. This makes them easier to digest and reduces issues like gas or bloating, all while retaining those vital nutrients. It's also important to remember that portion control remains vital, especially with starchy options like corn or peas, even when they're cooked, to prevent blood sugar spikes. A great strategy is pairing any vegetable with lean protein and healthy fats, as this further helps stabilize glucose levels. For example, having some chicken with your cooked broccoli or adding avocado alongside your meal can be really beneficial for overall glycemic control. Focusing on non-starchy, low glycemic index vegetables is always a sound strategy. Think about things like leafy greens, cucumbers, bell peppers, zucchini, and asparagus. These are generally well tolerated whether raw or cooked. They're nutrient dense and they minimally affect blood sugar. These really should be staples in the diet, as they offer great variety without those common digestive worries. So to wrap things up, while raw vegetables certainly offer many health benefits, it's clear that some may worsen digestion for diabetics. The key takeaway here is that being mindful of portion sizes and using appropriate preparation methods can really help minimize discomfort, all while supporting effective blood sugar management. If you found this guide helpful, we encourage you to share it with others who might benefit. You can also subscribe for more expert tips on diabetes management, or feel free to comment below with your own experiences and any questions you might have about diabetic nutrition.